All right, Dylan Stewart. How stressful was this recruiting process for you, especially at the end of the process?
It wasn't really that stressful because I was on my own time, and when I wanted to talk to people, I would talk. When I didn't want to talk, I wouldn't talk. So.
Gotcha. It seemed like things were kind of touch and go maybe in the last month and a half of the recruiting process. How close were you to possibly flipping to other schools or even talking to other coaches?
Not at all. I stayed solid throughout my whole commitment. I didn't go nowhere. I mean, coaches was reaching out to me, but I wasn't really paying them no attention.
Yeah.
I was very locked in.
I know you and Braden Lee were really close and are really close, and he was a longtime South Carolina commit. He ended up flipping to Maryland. Did you guys talk at all about that prospect during the process?
I let him make his own decision. You know, it's not my. I don't have no type of. So I just let him do what he wanted to do because at the end of the day, that's a decision he has to deal with. So.
When you look at South Carolina and their need for pass rushers, is that something that the coaching staff really emphasized to you during the process? And do you have an expectation to play early on in your career?
Yeah, they're expecting me to come in and play. I mean, of course, learn first and get everything under the belt, but yeah, come in and play and have an impact.
Was there an assistant coach from an opposing school that was reaching out the most after you were committed to South Carolina? I know you said you were
assistant coach.
Or what coaches were hitting you up even after the fact, after you were committed to some?
Well, I'd probably say the most was like Miami, Tennessee. When Coach Fran got hired to Syracuse, I called him to congratulate him, but we was talking a little bit, but it wasn't that serious. That's it.
Why was it so important for you to just maintain your loyalty to South Carolina and not even hear some of these guys out?
I mean, I was hearing them out, but I wasn't really hearing them out, but, if that makes sense. But I would say I feel like I had everything there, I wouldn't say I feel like I had everything there, and when you make a commitment to somebody, like, when you make a commitment, it should be solid, like, it shouldn't be no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you should know, like, if you commit, you're committed. So I ain't have nothing to think about.
When you think about the transfer portal and how active it is right now, I mean, did that impact your decision at all?
No, it didn't impact my decision at all. Cause you talking about like give me like saying like in my room or like doing like high school, my recruiting.
Like in your recruitment, the prospect of you possibly entering the transfer portal later on. I mean, almost half the kids who sign now are probably going to enter the transfer portal at one point or another. Did that impact your decision right now and saying, hey, maybe down the road, the transfer portal is still an option?
I'm not looking to get in the transfer portal, but I mean anything can happen, But I'm looking to stay all 3 years and ball out and go to the NFL.
What's the best thing about the South Carolina staff that stood out to you to make them the pick?
Their honesty, very honest. They're very homey, it's a homey feeling. And they're very honest, and they don't tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you what you need to hear, and they hold you accountable. But it's also fun. So.
What do you think you're going to be your first year? Are you just going to play one spot? Do they plan to move you around?
They plan to move me around, like off the ball linebacker, five, like being at the DN, stuff like that.
What's the next step for you? What do you need to work on the most to like grab a starting spot for the Gamecocks?
I would say I need to condition more because SEC ball and college ball is different. So I need to get conditioning. I would say my footwork, my speed, using my hands more, and just not relying on my athleticism.
Thank you.
Was there a school during this process that made your decision the toughest? I know you went on a few official visits before committing to South Carolina. Ohio State was one of them, for example. I mean, just kind of the way that unfolded for you to decide to go to South Carolina, who maybe made it the most challenging?
Who made the most challenging? I would say I would say probably Tennessee or Tennessee and Miami
Okay.
and Georgia.